Good morning to all you wonderful and distinguished YouTubers. Welcome to my channel, The Virginia Bushcrafter. This is the channel where we continue to learn and practice the skills of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival for the wilderness. Now we know that when you go into the wilderness, there are many skill sets such as cover, fire, water, food, navigation, first aid, so on and so forth. But we know there are also cutting tools that are necessary. Cutting tools such as an axe or hatchet, a knife, and a saw. With those three items, you can basically build any type of shelter in the bush. For number one, Mother Nature provides everything that you need. But it's always good to have a sharp cutting tool. As we know, a dull knife is a dangerous knife. A sharp knife is a safe knife. So I'm going to be using an axe that I have not used before. I've had it for some time, have not used it, and it is sharp, but it can stand a tune-up. So the tool that I am speaking of is a Marlboro's axe. It is a convex grind, and most axes or hatchets have a convex grind. If you notice here. So again, I'm going to just be tuning this up. It is sharp, but I would like it to be somewhat, just a tad bit sharper. I'm going to be using two tools to do that. A Lansky puck and a honing rod or honing steel. Now this Lansky puck is a dual grit. It has a coarse side, which is 120 grit. And it also has a medium side, which is 280 grit. This is for fine tuning, whereas the coarse side is more so for reprofiling or removing dings or dents from your blade. So you have the coarse side, which is 120 grit. You have the medium side, which is 280 grit. And this is 3 inches in diameter. It's 3 inches in diameter and 3/4 of an inch in width. So it will fit into your pocket or your rucksack very, very easily. Now, when using this, you can use oil, honing oil, or water. Whichever one you start out with, it is recommended to continue using that. So I am using water because in the bush you will always find a creek, stream, pond, river, and you're going to have a canteen with you. So I choose to use water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in some water to remove all of the air bubbles, and also it helps remove any previous metals that are in there. Just fix this. Okay, so while that is soaking, I'm going to be using a marker to mark the edges of where I'm going to sharpen. So let me just do that now. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And again, this is going to help me, or it's going to let me know where specifically to sharpen. Again, this is just to tune this edge up. This should not take long. So I am using, again, the 280 grit. And I'm going to start at the heel of the blade, of the edge. And you always want to make sure that you have your sharpening stone or your puck next to the blade and there's no space in between, as later on there will be. It's just rotating back and forth. And when you get to the edges, you want to make sure that the puck is removed just a little distant to make sure that you get the edge. And as you can see, I've sharpened exactly where I wanted it to be sharpened. And the longer you do this and become familiar with this process, you can actually tell where you are sharpening and if you're on the right course by the sound and the feel. Okay, I'm going to put the puck back into the water to remove metal that has been removed from the edge. Again, I'm going to put this very close and repeat the process. Again, you want your tools to be as sharp as needed. Now, on an axe or a hatchet, you don't want your edge to be so sharp that it becomes brittle. So this is going to be about maybe a 30-degree angle. Most convex grinds are anywhere 30 to 34, I would say. As you can see, I'm sharpening exactly where I planned. I touch and sound. You can tell exactly what you're doing. Oh, I can tell the difference already. Again, this has never been sharpened. So what I'm going to do now is stand the edges up, because when you sharpen, a blade, you will feel burrs, but I don't feel any on here, but I know there are some there, so I'm using the honing rod or honing steel, and I'm not going to put any pressure. I'm just going to lay this on the edge and push forward. This is sharp. So let's do a paper test. Yeah, that's very sharp. Very sharp. So, this is now ready to go into the bush. I will put some oil on it, put it in the sheath, and in the rucksack it goes. So guys, again, I just tuned this up with a Lansky Double Grit Puck. You can use this for an axe, hatchet, knife, lawnmower blade, shovel, spade, machete. It's a very good tool. You can carry this in the bush with you. And I also use a honing steel or a honing rod to stand the edges up. So with these two tools, this is now no longer just a factory edge. It has been touched up. Now this axe is good for splitting wood. If you notice the profile here, it's somewhat wider. The edge, I think this is about 5 inches. Yeah, the edge is 5 inches, which gives me more cutting area. So there's splitting, there's chopping, there's carving. And this is bearded. This is known as the beard portion in here, which allows you to choke up rather nicely to do carving. Very good handle. I believe this is ash or rosewood, but it's very dense. So I'm looking forward to using this tool. I've had it for a while, have not had it in the bush, but it will be going in the bush with me on my next trip. So guys, I just wanted to bring this small information to you. Make sure your blades are sharp. When they're sharp, they're safe. And of the many tools, many sharpening tools, this is a very good tool. Again, this is the Lansky Double Grit Puck. Again, 2 sides, 120-degree side, which is very coarse, and a 280-degree side, which is for fine tuning. Also used a honing rod. All right, guys. Thank you. I hope this has been helpful to you. So remember, I'll see you in the bush. Hit the like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter, signing out.